I made it in time. You can afford to miss a single train, so don't run so wildly. You'll break your heels again. You're always reminding me of awful memories, Haruki. It was snowing back then, so it couldn't be helped. Regardless, right now it's not a good time for you to get hurt. Try being a bit more I keep telling you that won't happen, am I not? My ability to concentrate increases the closer we are to the concert. When there are only 3 days left, I think I'm amazing. If I do say so myself, I can hear people kicking a stone from 100 meters away. Haruki?
Damn it. Kazusa.
What? Hey!
I put my hands on Kazusa's shoulders and forcibly turn her around. With her sight directed at the door, I push my body against her back as if embracing her.
Haruki, what are you doing all of a sudden?
My far too forceful action stiffens Kazusa's whole body. Don't talk so much.
Why? Do you know what'll happen if you do this?
Please, don't stand out. The thing I said yesterday has become reality.
What do you mean?
There's a picture of you in one of the advertisements.
What did you just say?
As I was lecturing Kazusa, I happened to look up to see an advertisement belonging to a familiar magazine. The moment I saw the third article introduction from the front saying Toma Kazusa, my heart rate went up by 30 in an instant. Just focus your gaze outside until we get off. Do not look in any direction, okay?
But I want to know what they wrote.
Don't look. It's nothing but rubbish. Perhaps Kazusa understood the contents of that article by the one single word. Perhaps Kazusa understood the contents of that article by that one single word. But this really is bad. Refused interview, excessive abusive language, ignoring support from fans, homecoming of the second-generation genius pianist Toma Kazusa, inherited self-centeredness from mother, a headline written in a familiar font, using expressions that would fit perfectly on some third-rate gossip magazine. I might just be overthinking it, but someone could recognize you. It'd be no laughing matter if that happened.
Haruki.
In truth, rather than I don't want anyone to recognize you, my feelings lean closer to I don't want to show you to anyone. But there's no reason to explain every single sentiment like that to her. All that matters is that I become a cushion for Kazusa while she's in Japan. So, I'm sorry. It might feel a bit cramped, but...
It is cramped. You should be sorry. This is the worst. You really are an overbearing bastard.
I'm sorry.
You even think you can get away with it just by apologizing. You think that since it's me, I'll forgive you.
I wasn't.
Stop messing around.
Her verbal abuse is no different than usual, but I breathe a sigh of relief knowing that Kazusa has calmed down despite that. I can tell because her whole body doesn't feel tense anymore, and she's beginning to allow herself to touch my body, even if only a little. The insides of the train is as usual. No one draws any correlation between the woman in the picture in front of them and the woman clinging unnaturally to the door. Facing that fact, I'm not sure if my judgment was correct, but I do realize now that I'll have to make this kind of judgment many times in the future.
At this rate, she'll break down before long.
At first, I thought that Yoko-san's fear was groundless, but perhaps that's not the case at all. Do I have to protect her after all? For the sake of my own modest future, must I protect the woman I should distance myself from more than anyone else?
Hey, Haruki.
What is it, Kazusa?
Something has been poking me for a while now. Around my butt.
It's my camera.
Here you go. This is the result. Does it look good?
Oh.
Don't you? Oh, me. The mirror. Where is the mirror?
Don't worry. It fits you perfectly.
I don't need your opinion, so give me a mirror.
Don't panic.
Of course I panic. This is just... No, she has long, pretty hair. So I do feel like it's a bit of a waste, but this looks really nice too.
You're right. It's perfectly fine. It might just be a art style thing, but doesn't she look a bit like Koharu like that? Just saying.
What?
Our first destination after we got off the train was not an electronics store or a furniture store, but rather a beauty salon. There, we consulted a rather friendly employee about how to make her unrecognizable. This is the result of our suspicious request. A comb as a hair ornament to keep her side hair raised, and fake glasses to obscure her eyes. With this, she's no longer the talk of the town pianist Toma Kazusa, but rather the beautiful, spectacled young lady next door.
What is this? Are you making fun of me?
Don't you think it fits her perfectly? Indeed. It's all done now, isn't it?
You've grown to be quite distinguished over the years, playing with a woman's face and hair as you please. It was only 5 years ago that you were a class representative who was more stubborn than a rock.
I had no choice. It's your fault for not being able to walk around with your normal looks.
It's not my fault.
Yeah, it's not your responsibility. It's your true strength. It's nothing to be ashamed of. The hint that helped me come up with this plan was Setsuna. Before I got to know her in high school, the deceitful girl who concealed the fact that she was a school idol for 2.5 years by the supermarket by putting on glasses, braiding her hair, and wearing purposely unfashionable clothes. The fact that I'm using that same method with Kazusa might make me a rather terrible person, though. Even so, I have to do whatever I can right now. Obscuring Kazusa from public eyes is my first priority.
How about it? Should I get something different?
You heard her. What will you do? Please, give us the bill for both accessories.
Yes, thank you very much for the purchase.
That sulky silence properly conveyed what she wanted to say. It doesn't matter either way, you moron.
Just so you know, I'm not going to start wearing any of this tomorrow just because you bought it.
After that, you bought a scarf and a hat, making her go from the beautiful, spectacled young lady next door to the beautiful, well-equipped young lady next door. I feel like something is a bit off, though. Why are you so against it? Sure, it might feel a bit constraining, but it's better than being recognized in the streets.
I can't bind my hair.
Huh?
My hair will get all messed up. I tried it once before, and Mom rolled her eyes at me for it.
So that's the reason she has always had long straight hair since I could remember.
That's why, I'll wear the glasses, but not the comb.
Can't I just bind it for you?
Huh?
Despite being a pianist who should have masterful control of her fingertips, she can't even tie her own hair into a bun. Though, I imagine it's more so her innate tendency to find things too bothersome that's the issue here. I think I can replicate the way it looks right now, because I watched her do it earlier. Though, I have to wonder what's more disastrous, binding one's hair, or leaving it beautiful and straight. She looks cute like this too.
But that would mean every morning.
Too bothersome? But if she says she can't do it, I have no choice. I'll have to eliminate any factors that can get in the way of my coverage. I have my job to worry about as well, so there might be days I can't do it unless it's early in the morning. So if you could try to match your schedule to mine, perhaps I shouldn't after all?
Like I care. Do whatever you want.
After giving me her usual verbal abuse, along with her certificate of consent known as "do whatever you want," she walks away quickly, so I won't catch on. In the end, no matter how much Kazusa complains, she always accepts my ideas one way or another, never losing that last bastion of kindness. When she's around me, she always insists on sulking, always warding off my meddling as a nuisance. But she's right next to me before I even know it. Right now, Kazusa is acting like she did before I met Setsuna. Oh, I know. Kazusa, wait a sec.
Why, if we don't finish our shopping when it's still early, my practice time will be cut shorter and shorter.
Just one. Come on, stand there.
Huh?
At the sight of me pulling out my camera from its case, Kazusa's eyes, through her glasses, sway a little bit. Look, smile. Or maybe you look better when you're acting like usual. Look, Kazusa, give me your best frown.
You're making fun of me after all, aren't you?
Yeah, just like that. Here we go. All right.
Huh?
But that slightly confused expression was perfectly converted into data for the camera. Good work. We're going to the home electronics corner next.
Your first picture of me is when I'm in disguise?
But in its own way, this is...
You really are making fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you at all. It really looks good on you.
Ah, right. The receipt.
For what?
For this set of disguises. You bought it all in cash, didn't you?
Oh, right. She found out.
I'll calculate the total later, so give it to me for now.
Like I need that. I bought it for my own needs.
Huh?
I used cash for the sole purpose of paying for it myself. Why can't she understand that? In exchange, the same won't apply to the electronics and furniture, okay? There's an order of magnitude difference in the price between this and those, after all.
Oh.
Are you listening? You'll pay up, okay?
I am.
That's fine then. Come on, we're going for real this time.
Haruki?
Oh, make sure to step on the comb later. Otherwise, you'll die a painful death.
You're so down to earth, yet so superstitious at the same time.
And so, the first day of my exclusive coverage of Toma Kazusa started off without any planning whatsoever. Even though Kazusa kept hurling abuse at me, she kept following me as I led the way, exactly 3 steps behind. Alright, I think this should cover it. A fridge, a table, a bed, etc. We went through everywhere from telephone providers to furniture stores, spending over 100,000 yen in the process. $1,000? When buying furniture, that's not too bad. Though I suppose that this amount is barely even worth mentioning for the Toma family. After all, this generous family has paid 3 months' worth of fees just for a single month at their hotel, including deposits and key money.
Whoa, it's already 2 o'clock? Just how long do you plan on dragging me along?
It sure must be fun to do nothing but complain. In the end, all of the negotiations with the salespeople were left to me. Kazusa lazily looked around the stores, and in the end, she found some reason to criticize my choices and purchases.
Try to think about the design a bit more, Haruki. You don't care about anything but function and cost performance, do you?
Is there anything else to watch for when buying life essentials?
This is precisely why your lifestyle has no taste. Try living with some leeway, you stupid worker ant.
You're aware that you're a grasshopper yourself, aren't you? But when I asked her, then which one do you want? She only answered with, like I know. So we ended up going with the ones I picked first every time. Had Kazusa not complained about every little thing, we would have finished an hour earlier.
Anyway, everything is settled now, right? Can I go practice now?
Yes. Oh, yeah, good work.
The real work is going to start now for 10 hours.
You're going to do it today as well? But you're starting pretty late.
Yep, it's my daily routine.
I see. Her mind should be filled with nothing but the hellish special training awaiting her. Yet, since last night, no, since the end of last week, Kazusa's expression has begun to look more and more peaceful.
See you later then, Haruki.
Oh, hey, if it's fine with you, can I take some pictures of you when you play?
Sorry, but my practice is the only thing I don't want to show you. It's not done yet.
I'm fine with just the first few minutes. You could pretend to be playing.
Let's do it after the concert. I want to concentrate right now.
I see. Sorry for being unreasonable.
No, I'm sorry too.
As proof, in a conversation that would have led her to shout at me before, we can now reach a compromise with each other. Alright, good luck. Oh, right, what about dinner?
Anything is fine. Everything you make tastes mediocre anyway.
Fine. The bitter smile on my face probably never reached Kazusa, who has already turned the other way. What I had meant to ask was, do you want to eat out or eat at home? January 16th, Wednesday.
Oh, it finally looks like a place for living.
After coming home from practice and whilst taking off her disguise, Kazusa stares at her transformed room in surprise. You look rather proud for someone who didn't do anything. Of course she'd be surprised. After all, I did a thorough cleaning of this place, changed the curtains, put the furniture together, and set up all the electronic devices for her, all by myself.
It's your job to watch over me, Haruki. You earned the right to do coverage of me on that condition. I haven't done anything unreasonable, you know.
Then let me interview you right now.
Let's have dinner first. I'm hungry. What's the matter? Is dinner still not ready?
This woman... I have been cleaning up the place until now. I'll start making dinner now. By the way, I do happen to be really exhausted.
I see. Then wake me up when it's ready. I can finally sleep in a bed. I can finally sleep in a bed.
This woman... I thought of asking her whether she had the decency to offer help, but I gave up right before the words left my mouth. I'd only have more to deal with if she does end up helping me. In a way, Kazusa's choice is indeed the right one. I don't have the time to make anything proper, so it'll have to be instant food, okay?
That sounds good. I'll actually be able to have some decent food for once.
What? That explanation doesn't satisfy me one bit, though. Hey, look here.
I said stop. Don't take pictures of people eating.
Don't hide your face. When we finished our store-bought Chinese meat bowl, Kazusa opened the convenience store cake as if it was the true meal of the evening. But when I tried taking pictures of that particular scene, she refused by blocking the lens of my camera with her hands.
You're acting like a paparazzi. This is the height of a peeping fetish.
Yeah, I think it's a bit rude to take photos of people eating. I get how she feels there. I think that your sweets addiction might make for a good article, though. I don't deny her accusation, because even I agree. Yeah, like if it's a staged thing where she's eating, like if the entire thing is staged and set up, that's fine. I mean, candid photos of people eating. That's a bit rude. When I see that happy face Kazusa makes when she's eating those cheap cakes, I can't resist the urge to immortalize it in a photo.
Is seeing me eat a cake that much of an oddity?
It doesn't suit your image. After all, you have a primarily black and stylish getup.
Don't say it like that. It irritates me.
By the way, what just fell into her mouth is a primarily white and cute strawberry shortcake. It's a 2-pack worth 300 yen, but it goes without saying that I don't get a share. Though it's not like I want any. Hey, you got your love of sweets from your mother, didn't you?
At first, I didn't realize.
I turn on the voice recorder and put it on the table. Kazusa frowns at it a little, but according to our contract, she continues talking.
Ever since I was a kid, every time I ate dinner with Mom, there'd always be a vast variety of desserts. Cakes, puddings, donuts, mostly Western sweets. It wasn't cake today, pudding tomorrow. All of them were lined up on the table at the same time. It was our habit back then when I was a kid to drink coffee with plenty of sugar and milk.
Didn't you ever find it gross?
No, it's delicious, is it not?
There should be a limit.
She was able to eat it all without a care. That's how much strength and willpower she must have had.
And a hell of a metabolism. I see. Even after eating that much sugar, she played concerts intense enough to use it all up. And she ended up passing down that rare type of metabolism to her daughter, along with the skill she molded from the energy obtained by that disposition.
The first time someone told me that it was weird was during a school trip in elementary school. During a group activity, we went to a candy shop in Kyoto.
Oh, so you participated in events like that back then?
The parents of my classmates said all kinds of things back then. I lost count of how many times they asked about my father's name. As if I'd know. Well, they weren't many, but I did have friends. They didn't bully me that much.
That sounds nice, somewhat.
I didn't mind what others said about me, but only as long as they weren't someone close to me.
But that was a misunderstanding, though.
Don't come up with explanations when you're only supposed to listen. Your job is to write what I tell you, isn't it?
Then I'll write what you just said. Is that okay?
It's fine, but is this even interesting to hear?
That's for me, my superior, and the readers to decide. For the time being, you can just focus on talking about yourself.
I don't really get it, but can you even put something like this in a for-profit magazine?
The cake-addicted pianist?
What a strange...
Thank you for that.
Stop it. It's embarrassing.
Despite the sound of the shutter, Kazusa still puts the fork in her mouth, softly forgiving me with an embarrassed look. Yeah, that expression looked really natural. Want to take a look?
Of course I don't. Darn it. Damn it, I've been had.
That expression tells me everything I need to know. The happiness Kazusa gets when she eats sweet food causes her heart to temporarily soften. Is that so? I think it's a good image. There's even a bit of cream stuck on the corner of your mouth.
Delete it! Delete it so no trace remains of it!
January 17th, Thursday. Come on, the early bird gets the worm, right?
I'm cold.
It's 8 a.m. Thursday. After I had woken up at my usual time and made the usual breakfast, I went over to Kazusa's apartment, only to see her spectacularly glued to the bed. No matter how many times I gave her a shake, she only responded with, "I don't need breakfast," or "Let me sleep a little more." Thus, I had to extract divine punishment on her like this. I forced her to change her clothes, bound her hair, and forced her out of the apartment without further setbacks, taking her out with me on a morning walk. Oh, it's starting to get frosty. Of course it's cold. I knew the morning temperature was going to be 1 degree Celsius below freezing point.
Why am I in a place like this?
After we left the apartment, we went to Minami Swetsugo Station, walked past the front gate of Hosho University and Hosho High School, and now we're strolling along the river. This path is rarely used by the students commuting by train, so it's less crowded than the area around our apartment, making it ideal for our walk. The river is beautiful for being inside a metropolis. There's even a lot of vegetation. That's precisely why the cold permeates this area that much more. Oh, hey, I was going to step on that.
You stepped on all the ones on the other side, so what's the big deal?
I saved this one for last. I got the feeling this one might make the best sound.
Half of my heel is sunk in. This is pretty fun.
I know that it's fun. That's precisely why... Crunch, crunch. Stop it! To distract themselves from the cold, 2 fully grown adults destroy one patch of frost after another. two schoolgirls passed those two immature adults with somewhat awkward expressions on their face. A few seconds after that encounter, Kazusa stares at those two girls with a complex expression for a while. You used to wear the same uniform as them once.
You too, Haruki?
No, he wore the boys' uniform. Unfortunately, my uniform wasn't so short around the knee. Either point out the idiocy of what I said or make fun of me. There's no backing out of that statement.
Don't worry, I wasn't listening.
Even while calmly responding to me in that manner, Kazusa's eyes are still firmly aimed at those girls. No, more accurately, do you feel nostalgic?
No.
She might be seeing ourselves in them. You wore that too, during high school.
What about it?
If you're going to answer so stubbornly, you can stop staring at them like that. That might have been a harsh comeback.
I don't feel nostalgic at all. I'm not allowed to feel it.
Even at my uncalled for comment, Kazusa doesn't avert her eyes from those girls. What's that supposed to mean?
The night after I came back to Japan, Haruki, I told you, didn't I?
Told me what?
I'll never come back here again. I won't ever come near any place that I used to know, or any place that has a history with me. That was a mere 2 weeks ago.
I asked Kazusa a question, yet she continued as if I understood everything. Not that I don't understand, though.
I'm so weak-willed. I'm so indecisive. Am I an idiot or something?
Why can't you come close? Left without a choice, I ask her a question with the presumption that she too understands. But I can't fully accept what she has to say. I don't want to hear nor acknowledge her self-deprecating words.
Are you going to ask me that? Are you going to make me say it?
Ugh.
You really have cruel taste. It might be the result of your work.
Done with the stepping on patches of frost, Kazusa slowly moves down towards the river. She occasionally trips on the slippery grass, yet she never grabs onto my outstretched hands.
It's not nostalgic at all.
The sunlight is reflected by the surface of the river and shines on Kazusa's face with a swaying motion. But unlike the radiance of the light, the illuminated expression is covered in grief. Kazusa, look at me.
No.
I can't keep myself from clicking the shutter.
I told you no, you coward.
Take off your glasses this time.
Don't give me orders.
Kazusa, who called me a coward, started looking at me straight in the eye at some point, with the same attitude she used to say, "Don't give me orders." She slowly shows me her eyes, no longer hidden behind her glasses. Your hat and scarf, too.
Don't push your luck. Don't ask me to do whatever you want.
This time, her hidden, true face is exposed to me. Kazusa grimaced from the cold a bit, but after that, she started glaring at my lens. Maybe it was just my imagination that her lips seemed to be quivering. Hey, Kazusa.
What is it?
Even if you are an idiot, I prefer the Kazusa who walks down the same road we used to in the past with me.
That's why I'm not allowed to get close?
Take off your hair ornaments too, and become the usual Kazusa again. Now, without any hint of stubbornness, Kazusa releases her hair just as I desire. Her long black hair flutters in the cold wind, softly blending in with the light coming from the water. This divine shot is probably not one that can be taken by someone of my skill. This divine shot is probably not one that can be taken by someone of my skill. January 18th, Friday.
Are you still at work? I'm already home, you know. What about dinner? Of course I didn't eat. Weren't you the one who told me to stop dining out? You said it was bad for my nutrient intake. What did you say? Are you telling me to rinse rice? Do you think I'm capable of something so ambitious? As long as you understand, 30 minutes. I can't wait any longer than that. What will happen if you don't make it in time? Are you planning on starving me to death or something? Sign autographs? Like I do something like that. I don't give a crap about that. You say they gave you colored paper for me to sign without asking for permission? I've had enough of your excuses. Just come home quickly. My empty stomach is reaching its limits. Oh, and buy pudding on the way home. The one that's sold in large 3-packs. You know, the one they sell at the neighborhood supermarket? The ones we bought the day before yesterday? Obviously, there aren't any left. Well then, run with all your might. Do you plan on making me wait even longer? Jeez. Jeez. Sorry for disturbing you. Maybe he's not home after all. What should I do? Crap. It's already time for our meeting. Is there something you want? Who are you? And who are you to ask? I'm that guy's, the neighbor of that person living in that apartment. Oh, is that so? Well, thank you. So, who are you? I'm an acquaintance of your neighbor. What of it? Is that all? What do you mean? No, I don't care at all. After all, I only just moved in. Is that so? Yeah, so what business do you have with my neighbor? I thought you didn't care. I don't care at all. Truth is, I had something to give him, but it looks like he's out. Yeah, he'll be home soon, I think. What should I do? If I put it in the mailbox, he might miss it. If you have a message for him, I can tell him in your stead. Would you be so kind? I'd like you to give this to your neighbor when he comes home. A letter? It's a ticket for a concert tomorrow. A concert? My friend, your neighbor's girlfriend, is singing, but she hasn't given him a ticket yet. Oh? That's how it is. So, can I ask you to tell him that he absolutely has to attend it? Yeah, I got it. I'll tell him. Thank you very much then. In that case, I'm counting on you. Yeah. My neighbor's girlfriend. It couldn't be. There's no way. Could she be? No. I'm prettier than her, right?
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I like Kazusa's disguise. It's a cute design. Also, when she was getting that haircut, I thought she kinda looked like, Koharu? Maybe it was just the hair being up in a ponytail. I don't know.